The Hy-Vee game of the week with a little bit of a different flavor for this fall sports season. It's cross country and the Olathe Twilight Invitational from the ODAC in Olathe. Welcome everybody, I'm Rod Zook on a cold, windy, rainy night. Temperature in the 60s, rain is falling as we get ready for the junior varsity girls race. We will have JV girls, JV boys, and then the varsity girls and varsity boys tonight. So 4 races over this 5,000 meter course. Flat as my mother's pancakes, as they have made this course around the ODAC Sports Complex. Flat and fast. And if they can battle through the elements, they're going to be in good shape. And Sophia Schultz, you see her out in front. That's Olathe West, Kaylin Willingham. And the rest of the field beginning to stream by, but so far Sophia Schultz is out in front and running on a great pace this early in the season in this kind of weather. You see the rest of the field is streaming by. Kaylin Willingham trying to give chase, and then you see a pack of Olathe West runners that went by. That is going to be a big deal for them because remember, in cross country, if you finish first, that's 1 point. Second is 2 points. And the whole idea, of course, is to get your 5 runners in as close to the front as possible. And there you see it, Schultz at the 1 mile mark, looking great. And then Willingham, Gonzalez, Cooper, and Brewer from Olathe West, all out there running 2nd through 5th. Shawnee Mission East, Colleen McAllister also there. Bernadette Wallace also in the fight there. As you see the rest of the field begin to stream past, and you can see the rain coming down. It is really pouring at the moment. The camera does not do justice just how hard it is raining, but when you see the gator go by, you can see just how hard it's raining. Sophia Schultz still out in front. Starting to pull away now from Kaylin Willingham. And she is out there by herself. Here's the rest of the field from Olathe West. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, that's Brewer, Gonzalez, and Cooper. Sophia Schultz making her way around the corner of the track and pumping her arms. Look at this time. This is a sophomore in a junior varsity race, and she breaks the tape at 19 minutes and 18 seconds, and she isn't just by herself. She has left everyone outside of the stadium. Kaylin Willingham coming in to finish in a great time as well. The junior runs 19:58. Molly Brewer finishing in 3rd, running by herself as well. If this is what's to come for Olathe West, their cross country is going to have a couple of years of really stout running. Here comes Gonzalez. Also out there by herself. It's still a great time, 20 minutes, 52 seconds. And Gonzalez being challenged a little bit, but she will finish in 5th place. Emerson Lee also there. You see the rest of the field coming across the finish line. Adeline Higgerson from Aquinas now crossing the tape. But it is Schultz, Willingham, Brewer, Gonzalez, and Cooper in that order. Great Bend's Diane Alvarez with a nice run tonight, 21:30. As you see the rest of the field trying to make their way to the finish line, and I'm sure the first thing to do is to get into some sweats because that was a cold, miserable race. You like to wear that lightweight clothing, but it starts sticking to your body and it starts getting really uncomfortable, and it also starts getting cold. That clothing made to dissipate heat, not keep it. So by the time you get done with this race, you certainly have had more than enough. At the 22-minute mark, there is Erica Nunez Seguenza finishing in 40th place. St. Teresa's Sydney Smith also crossing the finish line. And there you see the team results. Olathe West winning it with 23 points. St. Thomas Aquinas with 69. St. James Academy, St. Teresa's Academy, and Mill Valley rounding out the top 5. As you see the runners continue to make their way through the finish line. Again, if you see those mats down on the track, this is chip time. There are little chips tied to their shoes that records their time. And there you see someone actually having to carry their shoe. If her chip is on that, very important she did not lose that, because that records her time. That does tend to happen in cross country when you're in a big pack. You do tend to lose a shoe now and then as the field continues to make its way along. Olathe West has won it. St. Thomas Aquinas second. And when we come back, we'll continue our coverage with the junior varsity boys race as Spectrum's coverage of the Olathe Twilight meet continues after this. Game of the Week brought to you by Hy-Vee, proud sponsor of high school athletics throughout the Kansas City area. Welcome back to Spectrum's coverage of the Olathe Twilight Invitational. We're at the ODAC on a chilly and rainy evening. Rain has fallen off just a little bit, but it is still cold and it is still windy as the junior varsity boys race is underway. See that big pack, you've got to make a lot of decisions quickly. Here we are at the 1 mile mark. Owen Deidecker out there from Olathe West. Boy, Olathe West, we're calling that name a lot tonight. Nazir Masanga from Liberty North there. You saw him go by just a few moments ago, also in the fight. 5:31 at the mile mark, not bad. This is a junior varsity race, remember. But we have a host of runners that are close to breaking the 18-minute mark in this race. Diedeker begins to pull away now at 11 minutes. Still about 5 to 6 minutes left of running. There you see Diedeker, there's Hicks, Garcia of Blue Springs South, Garza Jones, and Nazir Basanga, also of Liberty North. Liberty North looking very, very good here. About 6 minutes to go. You want to start sizing up what you can and can't do here in this race. It is still very early in the season, so sometimes you may not be up for taking on as many people in a fight as you can, but if you are in that pack, like you see right there, you got to start thinking about those 10 or 12 people around you and how many of them you think you can beat. The whole idea, again, remember, is to have as few points as possible. And that's what's so great about this sport, cross country, because everything counts. Even the 6th and 7th runners can make a difference. If there is a tie, then it goes back to where the 6th and 7th runners finished to break that tie. Owen Diedeker out in front. Garza Jones, Hicks, Nazir Masanga. There you see them coming through your screen now. See the turf starting to get a little bit dark as you're getting a lot of footprints on that grassy surface. It can start to get a little bit slick. As you see them running across the street onto the artificial turf and then back onto the natural grass as they head towards the stadium. Diedeker still out in front. He is just about ready to head into the stadium that last 200 meters. Here comes Diedeker, looking to break the 17-minute barrier. Is going to have to dig hard to do it. You see him pushing towards the line. He will not break the 17-minute barrier, but he's still going to run an outstanding time, 17 minutes and 4 seconds, well out in front. Still waiting for Garza Jones to make his way around the corner. And there he is in a fight with Jagger Hicks, and he's going to be able to pip him at the line at 17:30. Hicks finishes in third. There's Garcia from Blue Springs South and Nazir Basanga from Liberty North. And Liberty North and Blue Springs South looking really good here in the team title. We're at 17:46 right now. Still under the 18-minute mark. Caden Fisher from Blue Valley West, Josiah Denman and Anderson Lendwetter from Washburn Rural crossing the finish line now. Olathe South's Luke Swearigan, Colin Baker also hitting the line. There you see them there. Blue Springs South, Aiden Olson crossing the line. There's DeSoto's Devin Morrell running 18:20. That's a nice time for this early in the season as a sophomore. And the rest of the field beginning to string through now. And there are the team results. Olathe West with another win in the team title with 50 points. Liberty with 69. Blue Springs South 78. Liberty North 4th. And Shawnee Mission Northwest finishes in 5th place. They continue to string through. 1,500 athletes in this event. This race in just 6 short years has become one of the more popular early season cross-country races in the areas. We are now eclipsing the 19-minute barrier. Runners continue to make their way around. This gets a little bit narrow, 4 lanes of track, but when you have about 200 runners, in fact, 234 in the JV boys race, it does get a little crowded. Remember, there were 3 races before this. There was the C-Team girls and C-Team boys before we got to the junior varsity races. They continue to fill in. When we come back, it's varsity girls action as coverage of the Olathe Twilight cross country meet continues in just a minute. Welcome back to Spectrum's coverage of the Olathe Twilight girls varsity action. There you see them there in a big group. The whole idea here is to protect your space and not get knocked down to the ground as girls varsity action underway. There you see Anjali Hawker Singh, who burst onto the scene as a freshman, then suffered a lot of injuries, especially during the track season last year. Ran just 1 meet during the season and then was shut down for the rest of the year. Obviously with a lot to prove, now a junior. Lost a little bit of her running career in high school. Hannah Gibson back in 5th place. Somebody else you're going to want to keep an eye on. Your feet start getting chilly when you start running through this wet grass. If you're wearing socks, they start to get heavy. There's Hawker Singh. Paige Mullen. And again, Hannah Gibson kind of sitting back just a little bit. There you see Olathe West again. We have mentioned them quite a bit. They run it the right way. They get them up in a pack and they just throw as many people up towards the front as they can, and they're doing it again. As you see Sydney All, Bree Newport, Paige Baker, all from Olathe West, all there in a group. That bodes well for them in the team title. Hawker Singh. Now Gibson has moved into 2nd place. Remember, she was back in 5th most of the first half of the race, but has now moved into 2nd, and she's trying to close the gap on Hawker Singh, who looks to be laboring just a little bit now. Harris Robinson, Paige Mullen. Washburn Rules Fink is next. There you see her. Kind of out by herself too, a little bit of a gap. She's got to concentrate real hard, make sure that she doesn't fall back into the clutches of Lyda Paget. You see her there as the rest of the field streams by.
Good job, ladies. Good job. Keep it up.
This course can produce fast times simply because it is so flat. And of course the competition, it just pulls you right along. When you get a meet this strong, even early in the season, it can produce some outstanding times. And we've got a couple going here because Hawker Singh and Hannah Gibson, right there they come. And look at Gibson close the gap now. Hawker Singh really starting to drive now, trying to stay out in front. These girls are on their way to running some outstanding times. Breaking 20 is really something in high school girls 5,000 meter running. Breaking 19 is really something. Breaking 18 would just be unbelievable. We might see it here. Hawker Singh a chance to do that. Gibson may be there as well as they start fighting their way into the stadium now. And here comes Gibson, Hannah Gibson. And she's going to break the 18-minute mark, 17:54. Hawker Singh trying to do the same. She won't get there. 18 flat. In fact, 18 minutes, 0.00 seconds. And an outstanding time again. That's Paige Mullen. Karis Robinson should be coming in here in just a moment. There she is. Another outstanding race for the Olathe West senior. Peyton Fink. There's Lyda Paget as well. Then Peyton Fink. Kate Miller from Olathe West, St. Teresa's Gracie Jacobs. And look at Olathe West. Here comes Auld and Newport, and right behind them, here comes Paige Baker. Baker being chased down a little bit, but they're not going to catch her. And Olathe West really strong here at this meet. There's St. Teresa's Gracie Jacobs. Madeline Boley from Shawnee Mission South. St. Teresa's win generally. Hitting the line as well. Here comes a big pack of runners. Shawnee Mission East, Scarlett Perlman leading that pack. Boy, these are great times. We're just at 19:18 and we're already almost to 30th place. That is how strong this meet has been. And there you see the final team results. Olathe West, 41 points, 67 better than Blue Springs South. Liberty with 178, St. James Academy with 180, and Washburn Rule in fifth with 216. When you score just 41 points in a meet this large, you are doing something special. 210 runners in this race. We are still under the 20-minute mark, and we are approaching 50th place. 20 minutes will get you Brenna Murphy in 47th place. You just saw her cross the line just a few seconds ago. There's Lila Schwartz also finishing. But Olathe West coming away with the team title tonight in impressive fashion. 4 runners in the top 10, 5 runners in the top 12, and that will make for an easy win. In fact, their 6th and 7th runners finishing inside the 50th place. When we come back, the last race of the evening, boys varsity action. The coverage of the Olathe Twilight continues on Spectrum. Game of the Week brought to you by Hy-Vee, proud sponsor of high school athletics throughout the Kansas City area. Spectrum's coverage continues with the Olathe Twilight Cross Country Championships. Boys varsity action now from the ODAC. Rain has stopped, the wind and the cold weather certainly hasn't. Cold weather not a factor, but the wind certainly does eat you up as we are underway at a quick getaway. 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Sage Wildy and Wyatt Houghton. There's Michael Blumker in third. Stewart in fourth. Bourne from Shawnee Mission Northwest in fifth. And look at that time down in the corner. This is a fast start to this race. There you see Liberty North with a couple of runners up there close to the front as well as the crew continues to move by. Those yellow jerseys there with the L and N on them, you're going to have to watch that. They're looking tough, including your leader right now. Wildy still in first, Hutton right behind him. Michael Blomker in a really tough position right now as he is out by himself. He's 50 yards back from the leaders and 50 yards ahead from the group. You see passing by the camera right there. He's got to make some decisions on how he wants to finish this race. Wildy right there. Starting to pull away. We're still under 10 minutes, and Wildy's starting to put some distance between him and Wyatt Houghton. There's Blumker. He is being challenged now by Colby King as Blomker being reeled in. There's Shively. Sam Hurley also up here in the top 5 with just about 5 to 6 minutes left in this race. In fact, they're at 10 minutes, so just right at 5 minutes left. And if that is the case, you're going to see some kids break the 15-minute mark. There you see the Gator, and there is Wildy by himself. Boy, he has had a great race this evening. He has just steadily pulled away. There is Wyatt Houghton. Colby King trying to give chase. There's Shively, who had been sitting back outside the top 5, now starting to drive really hard. He is going after Colby King. Wildy well out in front. He has had a tremendous race. He is going to break the 15-minute mark. There you see Blomker being chased down now by several runners. Blomker trying to hang on to the top 10 here. Wildy still out in front. He has entered the stadium part of the course. And he is going to put up a monster number, and a great crowd will be waiting for these guys when they get to the finish line. This is one of the great things about this type of course is you get a finish on the track, and there are a lot of people right there to welcome you home. Wildy, 14:39, 14:40, driving to the line, looks over his shoulder, pushes to the finish line, and wins in 14:45. Houghton in second. Shively finishes in third place. Just over the 15-minute mark, here comes Sam Hurley. A great time, 15:12. Caden Peters, Michael Blomker. Blomker maybe a little bit disappointed as he hits the line in 15:20. I know that's not the race he wanted to have this evening, but there'll be a lot more good ones. Henry Bourne also crossing the finish line. There you see Trinity Academy looking pretty good in the team title. Jacob Hobson hitting the finish line right there in about 15:35. As they continue to make their way across the line, all of these guys finishing under the 16-minute mark, which in high school cross country at 5,000 meters is outstanding. Just hitting the 16-minute mark, Will Meyer, Crew Bueller, Sergio Martinez, all hitting the line in good shape. Dylan Plath, Cole Burkholder also making their way across the line. There you see the team title, Liberty North, 104 points. Shawnee Mission East, 143. Wichita Trinity just 5 points back at 148. DeSoto, 158. And Olathe South at 164 in a very, very close team title. Certainly the 4th, 5th, and 6th runners earned their keep in this race because they needed all 5 scoring as high as possible in that team title. When first place scores more than 100 points, you know it has been a very, very competitive field. There you see them crossing the finish line. Our thanks to everyone at Spectrum for helping us bring you coverage of this great cross-country classic, the Olathe Twilight Invitational. We'll have more running coverage throughout the season. And of course, we appreciate Hy-Vee as well for all of their sponsorship for these great high school events. For everyone at Spectrum Television, I'm Rod Zook. Good night, everybody.